Hello, and welcome to 5-Star Conversations in the Sun City. I'm your host, Michelle M. Trey Hollis, and I am super excited to be here at the Microsoft Innovation Hub here in El Paso with Valerie Chavez and TransformD. I had the pleasure of meeting Valerie when she was still with Tech Frontier. We used to be Fab Lab. They still have Fab Lab, but they've expanded to Tech Frontier. And now she's with TransformD, and she's doing amazing things to help people and business owners, small businesses, local businesses like yours, especially, and even practices and healthcare professionals, to use the tools that are available to you to help to promote your business. Now, Valerie has a lot of experience in marketing, multi-channel marketing, which we're going to get into what that is. And she is an excellent person to learn from. And the main reason that I wanted to share what they do at TransformD is because they have a lot of different learning opportunities for you or your staff, right? I mean, their staff could come if, if you're a doctor or you're a practitioner and you have you're a primary care physician, or you do wound care, or you're a physical therapist, you may have someone that is a community liaison that does your PR, or that does your business development, or that does your marketing. And so we're going to dive in. I'm going to dive in with my experience in that area to see how TransformD can support you and your staff with getting the word out about your business and being very intentional about that. And so, like I said, she has a lot of experience in this area. So, Valerie, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. And can you let everybody know a little bit more about you, about Valerie the woman?
Yes, I am a woman. But, hi, yeah, thank you so much for having me on. So I've been doing marketing for about 10 years now. Okay. Primarily in nonprofit marketing has been like the big focus of my work. Okay. I've done marketing for, I don't know if y'all have heard of Lift Fund.
Lift Fund is a great resource for small businesses, right?
Yes. I handled their marketing. They're across 15 states. So that was a lot of fun. And like you said, helping small businesses get their loans and the grants. Right? Okay. All of that programming.
So you've done grant writing?
Yes, I've done grant writing as well. I actually started out grant writing there and made my way up into the marketing department. Okay, and I found myself at one point running the marketing for all of Lift Fund across the 15 states.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Wow. So how long did that take you to do that?
A few years for sure. Okay, great. Yes, and
so basically you started when you were 10 because you look about 15.
Oh yeah, no, and it was back when it was in San Antonio. Well, San Antonio is the headquarters of Lift Fund, right? And so I had to move there to take that job.
Oh, is that right? Okay, yeah. Wow. So the wealth of knowledge that you bring to El Paso, like you said, it's bigger than just this community. Yes. You understand on a grand scale the impact
absolutely
of what marketing and messaging and all of those things can have on an organization.
Exactly. Yeah. How to expand your footprint, right, across not just the city, but the state and even nationwide.
Oh, that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's amazing. I didn't know that about you. I'm getting to learn. So what was your position there?
Yeah, I was the marketing manager.
Okay, the marketing manager. Okay.
And luckily, it's 15 states. I couldn't do it alone.
Of course.
So I managed a couple of different vendors. Okay. Okay. A firm that I worked with, designers, email marketing people, right? Okay.
Okay. So you didn't have a necessary, and I think this is really important too, because especially for small businesses, you didn't. Lift Fund, in your position there, you were managing the process. Maybe we could say, is maybe a good way to say it. You were managing the different types of marketing, but it's not necessarily that you had a team of employees, but you had a team of vendors.
Right. And so it was it was up to me to come up with what are we doing next and how.
Ooh,
right?
Okay.
And so then it was kind of I had a little army of vendors, and I was like, okay, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Let me review your work. Approved, let's go.
That's fantastic. So the design of the design of the actual campaign or whatever that you were doing. See, I think that's so important because, from my experience in, especially in the healthcare arena, a lot of times and I think, just my experience with working with a lot of businesses, I think that, campaigns, people don't really see things maybe as projects necessarily, and I think that using tools, which is what you're helping with and teaching with at Transform, is how to utilize digital marketing in order to get the message out. And I think that having a goal in mind is probably an important thing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's the number one thing. So people get really focused on what colors or what photo am I going to use? And it's we need a backup. What's our goal here, right? What's our goal? Who's our audience? Right?
Goal and audience. Take note of that. Yes.
Yeah. So for people, that have their own practice and they're trying to figure out first, what is your goal? Is your goal to expand your, number of patients? Okay. Then, all right, let's expand our number of patients. How do we reach them? Who are they? Right?
Yeah.
And it might depend, especially the kind, are you, a pediatrician?
Right.
Or are you an OBGYN? So that's going to determine your audience as well, because a lot of people end up saying I want to market to everyone. And it's no, you're wasting your money. It has to be targeted.
I love that, the targeted part, because I was going to ask you about that. I mean, being a marketing manager, you had your hands and knowledge about a lot of the data that comes in, right? And I would imagine that would determine, again, where, your goal, like you said, who is your audience and where are they?
Yes.
You can get much more return on your ad spend and your investment of, focus if you're very clear on who your target audience is, right?
Yes. And that'll also determine how you tailor your messaging, right? Because let's say when I was at LaFun, a lot of small business owners that I worked with, they didn't necessarily go to school for it. They didn't necessarily, they weren't super administratively savvy or tech savvy.
Right.
And so, for example, when we would put together the grant applications, we had to make sure that it was easy to read, that it was easy to apply to, that everything was super clear. We'd have training info sessions so that people were able to ask their questions. Because one thing I always tell my team is, if you think that what you're saying is obvious and it's clear, you got to say it again and again and again. Right?
That part, yeah.
People just,
I love what you're saying, because I think too often, especially in the social media climate, people think, okay, I need to make a new piece of content. I need to say something funny. I need to say something different. But really, it's consistency and clarity, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because people are not reading the small details in your graphic, right?
Right.
A lot of times they're not. They're reading the big headline and then they're scrolling, right?
Yeah.
And so everything has to be super clear, really repetitive. Just some things to keep in mind when you're doing your messaging.
I love that. Okay, so yes, clarity is key. Simplicity is key.
Yes.
As a specialist in marketing and messaging, and somebody who has worked across so many different states, so I can imagine that there was a lot of different types of people that you were kind of reaching, even though your focus was small business with Lift Fund, right? So I know you have an informational, or is it now this workshop that you have, is it informational or is it interactive?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. my workshop is happening next Wednesday. And so we do start out with graphic design basics.
Okay.
Right? Now, that's something that you don't usually get in just like a general Canva workshop, right?
That's true.
You just go into the tools. And I'm like, yes, but how are we designing with intention?
Okay,
right?
Great. Oh, Lord, we need that.
Yeah. Because, I think most people have a pretty good idea of what colors go together.
Mm-hmm.
But what about what fonts do you use? Where should they go? How do you make it look organized?
Yes.
Right? And clear.
Great.
How do you make it look professional?
Yes.
So when you have those branding basics, then it really guides your design.
Oh, I love that.
So we start there, and then we're going to go through the tools. Now, in the past, I've done a workshop where we just do kind of tools for graphic design. But what people don't know is there's a lot of different tools in Canva for making websites, for making forms, even Excels.
Oh, wow.
So many things, or even things as simple like I've seen some people come to me and like, Valerie, how do you make a QR code? Yeah. And I'm like, you can design it so many different ways in there, right?
Oh, wow. So you can actually generate a unique QR code in Canva? I didn't know that.
So easy.
See, I always switched to Adobe, but when I was doing the QR code, just because that was where I found it. But Canva will do that for you?
So easy. You can put your little logo in the middle. There's so many.
Oh, wow.
And then I just discovered too that there's a tool in there where you can, I've seen it like if you scan the QR and then it brings up your contact information. Mm-hmm. There's a tool for that in there.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, so helpful, so easy.
Wow. Wait a minute. Okay, rewind that. So this is a link, or what is it?
Yeah, so basically it's a QR code, just like a regular QR code.
It's a QR code as well.
But you can put in, Valerie Chavez, here's my phone number, this is my website. So print it, let's say on a little business card.
So kind of like a link tree almost?
Yeah, and so then someone will scan it, and instead of having to type up your contact info, you can just immediately save it.
Really?
Yeah, it just pops up.
So it's kind of like those, it's like those the business cards that people have sometimes where you just you tap it and it'll.
Yes.
Wow, but do you have to take a picture?
Well, no, you can just scan it. Like a QR code.
Oh, mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, because I know there's lots of websites that will make those scannable business cards for you, but what if you just do it yourself, right?
What if you just do it yourself? You handle all of your branding assets, everything in one application, which is Canva, which is the one that you're going to be teaching, right?
Yes.
How long? It's on Wednesday, February 28th. Let me start over. It's on February 18th, next Wednesday. Yes. What time is it?
6 p.m.
Okay.
Yes.
6 p.m. And how long is it?
About an hour.
Oh, okay. That's it? Okay.
Yeah, so super quick.
Okay. And is that an ongoing series, or you're just going to kind of do that? Was kind of a one and done for this one?
Yeah, it's a one and done. More than likely, I'll either be running this one again, or I might do another one that's more in depth on just a certain tool.
Okay.
Because I do want to give everyone an opportunity to practice and get some feedback, critiques, so they can grow.
Wonderful. Does everybody need to do they need to bring their laptop? Is that a smart idea? So they can get right into it?
Definitely bring a laptop. If for whatever reason you don't have a laptop, let me know. We do have some that we can loan for the workshop.
Okay. So you need to know ahead of time would be helpful, right?
Yes, definitely create your free Canva account. I will say that there's definitely a lot more that you can do with the premium account.
Yes.
I think it's something like $9 a month.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what you'll need, at least a free account. Okay.
And they'll be able to get a lot out of the free account. In fact, because I am an avid user of Canva, I do know that you'll be able to create a lot. There's just certain templates and things that you will have to upgrade to the premium account so that you don't have the watermark behind it. Mm-hmm. So technically, if you're new to Canva and you've never used it before, you could do the free account. You can actually build everything. You can choose whatever template that you would want to use, and you can build everything. But if you want it without that watermark, and maybe you'll want to decide after, and you'll see what you've created, and you'll be like, but there's also free ones that don't have the watermark that you can still go ahead and use without having to pay. But that's going to be a personal preference, right?
Yes, I do encourage it, that though, like getting the premium. I'm by no means a Canva spokesperson, but I just think there's so much more that you can do in it, and it's pretty affordable.
Yeah, it is.
But it really depends on your budget.
Okay, great. And so, with your experience, and let us know a little bit more about TransformD and why you decided to work with TransformD.
Yeah. Okay. So TransformD is actually brand new, like a year.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
It's a brand new company, super small, and it's actually a project of the Community Foundation.
Oh, great. Mm-hmm. The El Paso Community Foundation,
yes.
Whom we love over here, of course. Shout out to the El Paso Community Foundation. I'm a part of Progress 321, which is also a part of the El Paso Community Foundation. So we're sisters. We're sisters.
They have
Such a great projects. Foundation. Okay, fantastic. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. So part of the foundation, and it's meant to be also a part of the Microsoft El Paso Innovation Hub.
Great.
To help with sustainability, right? The hub, like any other nonprofit, is needing to generate funds, mm-hmm. right? And so TransformD is the way that we do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And now, what exactly do we do? So TransformD is a business services company. Mm-hmm. So if you're a company, a small business that's looking to upgrade your tech, mm-hmm. If you're finding that you're still doing things in Excel or on paper,
right.
Especially, all of y'all that have your own practice, and maybe mm-hmm. you're wanting to get like automated check-in, that type of thing, right? We can help upgrade your tech.
Oh, great.
And then on my side, I can help you upgrade your marketing.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so it's kind of two-pronged.
Yes.
In that way. So this is where, and that's fabulous because I didn't realize that. I heard you mention, automatic check-ins or automated check-ins.
Yeah.
So you can help practices to, if they're still kind of doing the old school.
Yeah.
Somebody come up to the receptionist and they're writing their name on the paper or whatever. There's a different way that they could do that?
Yeah. There's so many different already created like apps, software that mm-hmm. can help, get you set up. So we can definitely help, get that for you, get that going. Mm-hmm. Or if you need something custom, you're like, you know what, I've already looked at the tools, they're too expensive, I don't like them, I want something just for my business.
Oh, that's
we can help create that for you.
Wow, that's amazing. And have you worked with any, I know this is kind of on the spot, but have you worked with any medical practices or any medical practitioners that you know of at this yet?
Not yet. The closest that we have helped one client with Be Well 365. She's a nutritionist.
Okay, I think I've heard of them. Are they in Las Cruces? Or wait?
Yeah, they're here. And again, she's barely really trying to start to get a bigger audience.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we started with just helping her create more flyers, really, as basic as that.
Okay.
A presentation, a little bit more cleaned up, a little bit more professional.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So we started with that.
Oh, fantastic. And what is the process? Let's say somebody's like, you know what, that sounds good to me. I feel like I have, some of my marketing already under control. But let's say someone says, I feel like I have my marketing under control, but I would like to get more leads. Would you be a person to talk to about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I would do is, definitely come to us, let us know what you're needing. I'll do some research and see, basically do a little audit and see what's going on with your business, what I see could be improved, some like low-hanging fruit, right? And some more longer-term things that I think could help.
Okay.
And, I'll provide, based on your budget too.
Okay.
I'll provide a plan, some suggestions, and then you let us know, okay, I want to do A, B, or C, and go from there.
That's fantastic. Let me ask you this, especially with your experience of working with both nonprofits and with, other small businesses across, from you're working on behalf of Lift Fund for their marketing, but undoubtedly probably saw a lot. And just working here and working everywhere, you've probably seen hundreds of businesses, I would imagine, and supported them. Do you find that most small businesses have a line item for marketing, a line item in their budget for marketing? Is that something you've noticed, or is that something that you've noticed is maybe a mistake that people are making? I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think it's very, very common of that. And it actually really surprises me sometimes when I see, I'll see a small business and I look at even just their signage. I'm like, what? I would be so stressed out, trying to make, the look of my business perfect.
Right, you want to make it look elevated.
Yes, because that's the number one thing that clients are going to look at.
Right.
If your website doesn't look right, if your logo looks wonky, if your materials look weird, it really affects your credibility. Right?
That's the part, your authority.
Yeah, so they're like, why should I listen to them? They look like some small, hardly put together business, right? And that's so especially important for, in the medical field.
Agreed.
Right? And so, but a lot of small businesses, they really don't think about that, or they don't take it seriously. And so that's just a really big point for me in Transformed is just coming back to basics again. We talked about before, do you even have a lot of businesses don't even have the Google profile set up, right?
Yeah.
So people can't even find you. And, it's so easy to set that up, to put your photos in there, put some information. A website, even if you can't really afford, a big fancy website, there's options like Canva or other similar things where you can manage your own website and make it look presentable,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, just something to start with.
Yeah, just something to start with. Yeah, and it is important because people are a lot of times looking online to find somebody.
Absolutely. That's mostly.
Especially when it comes to medical. And a lot of times what I found that's different about the medical field than others is that people are not looking for that type a practitioner or a specialist or a primary care physician until they need it. Which means that they are going to be very quick to make decisions. They're going to go with who's probably, ranking the most. Is SEO something you all help with as well?
SEO, we don't touch as much, I'll be honest. It really is more on the branding side.
Okay, more on the branding side, which is important. But of course, we have community partners that...
Yes, we do have other partners that we work with that, we could connect you with if that's something that you're looking for.
And so does the branding affect that, do you think? Does the way that you brand your business, from the look of it, from the way you set up your website or your materials, do you feel that affects SEO or how people show up in engines? Yeah,
absolutely. Because let's say, okay, I've done SEO and my website comes up, right? But let's say the messaging is wrong, right? The person that it's connecting with is not the right audience, right? Okay. So that, first of all, not just the look of it, but the messaging in general.
Okay.
And let's say they actually find your website, they click on it, and it's a mess.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that they got there; they're leaving.
That's exactly right. Yeah, no, you're so right. That's so true. It's so important. You want to capture. You want to put your message out there. Capture. You want to again, circling back to what you said earlier, have the same message again and again across platforms, probably on your website, whether it's your website or your socials or your emails, as we talked about. Because we earlier, I was asking you before we started the conversation about, because you're saying that, you have so much experience in the multi-channel marketing. Can you explain what that means and why that would be important to a practice or a business?
Yeah, basically, it's just about doing marketing through more than one channel. So, which is, what a lot of people do. So what would be some different channels? Social media, of course, your website, something like a Google profile, email marketing, in-person events as well, right? Okay. So those are just different, tools in your arsenal that you can use to access a bigger audience or share more information about your business. But yeah, you don't have to do them all at once. I definitely would recommend at least a Google profile, just so that people can find you. Start there. If you can do a website, that'd be great. Then, you don't have to do all the social media platforms at once. Maybe start with one. Yeah. Right?
And that goes back to your conversation about what is your goal, like who is your target audience and what is your goal, because that's going to determine which platform is going to be the best for you to focus on first. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of, some businesses, they won't have an Instagram, they'll only have a LinkedIn, and that's fine. That makes sense for like certain businesses, of course. But it is normally nice. I say for me, as a customer and a lot of customers, if they see that you have an online presence and that it seems cohesive and that it makes sense and then
consistent.
Then they won't be like, is this a scam?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, you're exactly right. People want to see that you're active too. If you are going to have if you are going to be on LinkedIn or you are going to be on a social media, they want to see that you're active, that the last post wasn't just, 20 weeks ago, and that's going to make them feel less secure. It's almost better you don't have one, I think, if you're not going to post at least once a week.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, honestly. And then also, there is also a fine line from looking, really polished and really professional, to also being approachable, right?
True.
Which is a little bit difficult for the medical field also, because you do want that, that professional aspect is so important, but you also, nowadays, going too corporate can also alienate people, right?
And I think I would also and I think that's why medical professionals have a hard time wanting to start, because it's like you don't want to be too lab coat-ish, because people, you really want people to feel comfortable reaching out to you, I would imagine. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times when it comes to the medical field, people, they want to find people they can trust, and again, they're really, I think the opportunity for medical professionals and medical practices is to create educational content in a very approachable way, like you said, and doing that towards your target audience, so that when they do need you, that they'll feel like they know you already. So I think that's kind of the switch. That's the switch that I'm hoping to bring to the healthcare profession, because I think that a lot of more people will use their insurance. They'll use their insurance benefits. A lot of us have insurance benefits, and a lot of us still. And look, I'm talking, and I still haven't. I just switched insurances, and I'm in the healthcare space, and I still haven't found a primary care or thought to register with the primary care physician yet. And I know this is important.
Yeah.
And so, I have I've talked to a few people, but some people don't take insurance. It's the only reason that I just didn't go with them, because I know them and because I like what they're doing. But I'm like, I kind of need, I'm in a situation where I need to use my insurance. I can't pay out of pocket. But so I know if I'm speaking to healthcare providers, and I haven't spoken to any primary care physicians, so I'm going to look and find them. But I shouldn't even have to, I should have people in mind already, but it's because they're not showing up online the way that they can. And so that's why I appreciate what you're doing is that, and for people to be able to come to you because you are a trusted community, organization. You represent a trusted community organization. You know what you're doing because you've done this, with different, not only with the nonprofit of Lift Fund, and Tech Frontier, but you've also, in doing that, you were supporting so many other small businesses. So you understand the things that maybe if they come to you with a challenge, you can at least point them in the right direction of, okay, this is how we address that challenge. You're not just trying to sell Canva. You know what I mean? No. And I think that's important to note, that's not, your function is not to sell Canva. Your function is you're just realizing, oh, there's a need in the market. With all of the people that we've spoken with and everywhere I'm seeing, you've probably identified somehow that that's a need for small businesses is to be more on point and polished with their branding and their communications in total. And so that's why I wanted to bring Valerie today to talk to you. And so you can have a trusted community contact that's not she's not just here, to sell you a marketing package, but she's actually here to help guide you. And she can help you with the branding part of it. They can help you with the technology side that your business may need. And then they have a Rolodex of community partners that are trusted to work with so that you can, if she, with her strategic mindset, with her strategic mindset and her strategic expertise, she can help you to get guided in the direction that you need for whatever specific challenge that your business is facing. And so that's why I am so glad that I got to talk to you today. Thank you so much for coming on. What would you like to share how to get in touch with you? And just one last time for everybody.
Yes. If you have any questions or want to get in touch with me, you can email me at for Valerie Chavez at EP for El Paso, Transformed, MD, right? Transformed.com. And also, if you could reach out to us at the Microsoft El Paso Innovation Hub, this is a great place to learn as well. Visit our website, visit our socials. We have a lot of events going on, like I mentioned the Canva event. We're also doing a training on how to learn Copilot, AI for nonprofits, if that may be you, and a ton of other great events. So definitely connect with us.
Thank you so much. That is so amazing what you offer to our community. We are so grateful, and please make sure that you tap into these types of resources and someone like Valerie, who is an expert in her field, and really here to help grow your business and your practice. We have so many wonderful resources like TransformD here in our community, and you have got to take advantage of them. You are not in this alone. This, again, is a project from the El Paso Community Foundation. And so it's all about elevating our businesses and seeing you grow, not just for your business growth, but even more importantly, like Valerie said, to get your expertise and your support, your knowledge, and your care to the right people. That's really what it's all about. Ultimately, it's about letting the people who need you know that you are here to be of service to them. And that is what makes marketing great. That is what makes having the right technology great. And that's what we love to talk about here at 5-Star Conversations in the Sun City. So again, thank you so much, Valerie, for your time today. I know you got a big event going on, so I will let you get going, but I will put all your information so everyone can get in touch with you. And thank you so much for taking the time to explain how you can support our El Paso medical practices and businesses.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michelle.